And we're going.
Hi there, and welcome to Protocols on Entering Eternal Hope Lutheran Church, and giving you a little bit of a idea of what you will encounter when you come to worship in the sanctuary now that we will be reopening. So you will arrive at church, and you will be greeted by an usher. Then you will wait until, if there's other people in the church being seated, you'll kind of wait so we can stagger, but then you'll be invited into the church. And when you enter the church, you will enter through the left-hand door, which will be propped. So this door that is propped will have some signage, some check-in to make sure that, if you're feeling sick or have a fever or something like that, that you don't worship with us, because one of the things that we want is, if you're feeling sick or if you have concerns about becoming sick, we would prefer that you stay home and still watch our other YouTube videos, or if you're worried about coming into the sanctuary, don't forget that we have those drive-in services. So even though the sanctuary is now open, you do not need to feel forced to worship in the sanctuary, as we do have those other options. But as you feel compelled to join us, we would love to have you back in the sanctuary. So once Lori comes in here, she will then be greeted by another usher, which will direct her to the place where she can put her offering. We'll have some sanitization, and we will have some masks if you do not have your masks. So we are going to make masks required unless you have a medical condition where you cannot wear a mask. So if you are not able to wear a mask, let us know so that we then know. But we will have masks for you if, for some reason, you forget to bring your mask. We will also have some gloves. Those are mandatory, but again, if you feel more comfortable with it, go for it. So then you will be ushered into the sanctuary. And in the sanctuary, you may notice something a little bit different. We will have the nursery closed for right now, just because that's a lot of cleaning up and stuff. So if you have kiddos, bring bags, bring coloring crayons, bring books, bring anything that you might need to occupy their time and keep them a little bit more engaged. But then you will be ushered into the sanctuary to a pew. And when you get to your pew, you will find in it your bulletins and some sanitizing wipes, just so that if you feel the need to sanitize during the service for any reason, before you go to communion, before you leave or anything like that, there will be some wipes in the pew. The only thing that we ask is that, obviously, pick up after yourself, because that's, we don't want to touch your stuff. So we'll have people seated in every third pew, and we will have people kind of on the outside, so that we then maintain the distance on the inside. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, if you're like me and single and only one person, Lori, could you move over to that way? Excellent. So me and Lori can still safely sit in this pew with plenty of distance. So if you are somebody that will be going to church with just one person, it's really important that you let us know, so that we can then put you with another one person. So then at the end of service, you will be ushered out through that door. Now, most of the time it'll be after our normal benediction. We won't do as much singing in the sanctuary, but we are still going to have singing, since we will have even more space in between us than those 6 feet. But on communion Sundays, they haven't arrived yet, but there's going to be these fancy little packages where it has prepackaged wine and bread. So the bottom is going to have your bread. So when Pastor invites you to take the body, you will then open up the bottom part, remove your mask for a moment, then take the bread, and then when he invites you to take the wine, you will take the wine on the other side, open that up, and drink the wine. Now, we have 9 locations where people can sit. So up here at the railing, we also have 9 locations set up. So there are 1, 2, 3 podium things that count as 3, and then here on the rail we have 6 more locations. So when the usher invites you to come up to communion, you will take the cup from your spot, and then the pastor will do the words of institution, so on and so forth, and then you will take the Lord's Supper. So go for it, pretend, yeah, there we go, you don't have to, there, awesome. And then, when you're done with that, when he says depart in peace, you will depart in peace. So we have the back entrance is only going to be the entrance, and then this door over here is going to be the exit. So we have the continuous flow. So then, upon receiving communion, or if it's not a communion service, and the service is just done, you will go through here for communion. You'll throw away your little cup. And then for non-communion, you would then walk to your car. But there's something over here that is sometimes very important for people, and that is our bathrooms. Now, our bathrooms also cause a place where there's a bunch of surfaces that could be touched, and we want to try to minimize the amount of surfaces being contacted. So we'd like you, as best as you can, to listen to your mom and dad before you come to church and try before you go. If you do have to use the bathrooms, we will also have some Clorox wipes in the bathroom so that maybe you can just clean up at the surfaces that you touched before you leave. So, as Lori leaves the church, we will have some fancy arrows and stuff. We just want to make sure that the church gets clean before we put all that down. And then she will stay on the left-hand side. And during the service, the door that she came in will be closed. And then she will exit the now propped left-hand door so that she does not have to touch anything on her way out. Now, I know it's kind of a lot, but it really shouldn't be too much when you come here and do it once or twice, and we will definitely help you out. If you're willing to help do some ushering, contact a pastor or an elder or myself so we can kind of train you in on what's going on. And other than that, we look forward to seeing you in just a few days. If you have questions, do not hesitate to reach out.